Brandon Miller, 24 years old. A two-time Diamond League winner, still chasing his signature night, he lined up next to a 17-year-old who had not lost all season, Cooper Lutkenhaus, world indoor champion, the fastest teenager alive. With 200 meters left, everything changed. What happened next stunned Hayward Field. Cooper Lutkenhaus walked into Hayward Field with a perfect record. The 17-year-old from Justin, Texas had won every professional 800-meter race he had run in 2026. He opened the year by winning gold at the World Indoor Championships in Torun, Poland, becoming the youngest individual world champion in the history of track and field. He kept winning outdoors too. On June 7th, he made his Diamond League debut in Stockholm and ran 1 minute, 42.70 seconds to beat Olympic silver medalist Marco Arap. 3 days later in Oslo, he beat Olympic champion Emmanuel Wanyonyi and lowered his own personal best to 1 minute, 42.08 seconds, the fastest time in the world that year. Heading into Prefontaine, some experts wondered if he might even challenge Bryce Hoppel's American record of 1 minute, 41.67 seconds. His own coach, Chris Capot, downplayed the record talk before the race, saying he cared more about winning than any specific time. Nobody in the sport was picking against him. 4 professional finals in 2026, 4 wins. He was not just the favorite at Hayward Field. He was the reason most of the crowd had shown up early on a Friday night, filling the stands before some of the meet's bigger headline events had even begun. Brandon Miller was not new to nights like this. The 24-year-old from St. Louis, Missouri, ran for Texas A&M, where his 800-meter personal best still ranks 3rd on the school's all-time list. He won both the indoor and outdoor SEC titles in the 800 meters during his college career and set an American collegiate indoor record of 1 minute, 45.24 seconds along the way. He turned professional and made steady progress, winning a bronze medal at the 2022 USATF Championships in 1 minute, 45.19 seconds. At the 2024 Olympic trials, Miller ran a personal best of 1 minute, 43.73 seconds in the semifinal, then finished 3rd in the final to make his first Olympic team. In Paris, he advanced through the repechage round before finishing 5th in his semifinal. A year later, at the 2025 USATF Outdoor Championships, Miller finished 5th in one of the deepest finals in American history, crossing the line just behind Brazier, Lutkenhaus, Hoppel, and Hoey. That day, Lutkenhaus ran down the entire field in the final 100 meters, catching Miller right at the line. Miller remembered it. By 2026, he arrived in Eugene in the best form of his career, having already won at the LA Track Fest in May and the LA Grand Prix in June. He was chasing his 3rd straight win of the summer and a chance to prove that his 2024 Olympic experience had turned him into a genuine championship threat, rather than just a name near the bottom of a stacked start list. The race went off on the night of July 3rd, 2026, the opening night of the Prefontaine Classic. This was not a soft field built around a teenage star. Reigning national champion Donavan Brazier was in the race. American record holder Bryce Hoppel was in the race. World Indoor silver medalist Elliot Creston was in the race. It was 4 of the top 5 finishers from the 2025 USATF final, all lining up again 1 year later, with Lutkenhaus now the clear favorite instead of the surprise. 1 year earlier at that same USATF final, Miller had crossed the line 5th, watching Lutkenhaus fly past him in the closing meters. Now they were back on a track together, and this time Miller was not there just to make up the numbers. Pacer Lloyd Freilich takes the track with instructions to cross 400 meters in 50 seconds flat. The gun fires, Freilich shoots to the front, and he runs even hotter than instructed, passing 400 meters in 49.88 seconds. Lutkenhaus made a choice. He let the pacer go. He hit 400 meters in 51.01 seconds instead, more than a full second slower than his own opening lap from the legendary 2025 USATF final. Even at that controlled pace, he still led the race, with nobody willing to pass him and take on the wind themselves. Through the bell lap, the field bunched up behind him, cautious, waiting. Behind him, Miller sat patiently in the pack, tracking a battle for position developing between Lutkenhaus and Rwanda's Yusuf Bizimana. Brazier and Hoppel stayed close behind, saving their kicks for the final straight, the way championship racers always do. With 200 meters to go, Miller saw his opening. He watched Bizimana and Lutkenhaus fighting for position just ahead of him, and he knew the moment had arrived. He launched his kick from lane 2 on the final turn, storming around the outside of the field. There was no hesitation in it, no testing the pace first. He simply went. It was more instinct, Miller said afterward. He said he felt strong with 150 meters left, so he committed to the move without hesitation. By the top of the home straight, Miller had already opened daylight between himself and the field. Lutkenhaus tried to answer. He shifted outside, searching for the gear that had rescued him so many times before, the one that caught Miller himself a year earlier at USA's. This time, that gear never arrived. He held on for second, but the gap to Miller only grew with every stride down the home straight. The numbers show exactly why. At the 2025 USATF final, Lutkenhaus closed his last 200 meters in 25.41 seconds, the fastest closing lap in the entire field and the run that made him famous. At Prefontaine, his final 200 meters came in 26.56 seconds, more than a full second slower. His 600-meter split told the same story. A year earlier, it was 1 minute, 16.86 seconds. This time, it was 1 minute, 18.06 seconds, more than a second slower again. Miller crossed the finish line first in 1 minute, 43.68 seconds, a season best. Lutkenhaus finished second in 1 minute, 44.62 seconds, his first 800-meter loss of the entire outdoor season. Brazier took third in 1 minute, 44.86 seconds. Hoppel finished fourth in 1 minute, 45.05 seconds. Creston was fifth in 1 minute, 45.11 seconds. Put simply, Lutkenhaus ran almost the exact same race he always runs. He just ran it about a second and a half slower than his very best. And on this particular night, that was the difference between winning and finishing second. Miller did not need a miracle performance to beat him. He needed one perfectly timed gear change, and he got it. In the mixed zone, Lutkenhaus did not make excuses. Miller's on a different level right now, he admitted. He put the whole night in plain terms. It wasn't a bad race, but I wouldn't call it a great race. That honesty matters here. This was not a case of a young runner falling apart under pressure. His splits were still fast enough to beat 3 Olympic and World Championship level professionals. The difference was one man in the field who simply had more left in the tank that night. Miller made sure everyone understood what this field meant to him. Racing at this level, he said, is what pushes him to be better. Cooper Lutkenhaus handled his first defeat of the year with professional maturity, refusing to blame external factors and confirming his focus remains on long-term growth, while Brandon Miller's Eugene victory proved he belongs among the world's elite 800-meter runners. For Lutkenhaus, the loss is merely a data point in a season still full of potential. Both men now turn their attention to the upcoming USATF Outdoor Championships in New York and September's inaugural World Athletics Ultimate Championship in Budapest. Having split their last 2 meetings in the final 200 meters, their emerging rivalry has become the sport's most anticipated tactical showdown.